Hi, my name's Bruce. Welcome to Bruce on Business. I have 10 questions that everybody who are thinking about going into business should ask and answer. Let's go through them one at a time. The first one is, what do I want to do? That's an interesting question there. Unpack that. What do I really want to do? Now that opens up the field to almost anything, but writing it down is key to getting to the next question. Is, what do I need to do? Now, so many people come to me and say, well, I will need to go into business because I've lost my job, or I've retired but I don't have enough money, or I'm going through a rough financial time, so I need to subsidize the income that I have. So defining the wants and the needs are very different. Think about them and write down your answer. The third one is, where do I want to be in 3 to 5 years' time? 3 to 5 years' time. Now that's quite a long time to think about. But take time to consider this, because what you do today has a direct impact on where you're going to be in 3 to 5 years' time. What you're reading now, what you're learning now, and the people that you're talking to now has a direct, absolute link to your short-term future. So write down on a piece of paper, write down on a dream board, where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years' time? The next question takes it just a little bit further. Where do you want to be in 10 years from now? So write down your age on a piece of paper and add 10 to that. Now that might seem a very long way away, but I can promise you 10 years goes in a blink of an eye when you're really, really busy. But again, investing now for your future, if you don't know where you want to be, how can you invest? So setting a long-term goal like 10 years is key to the activities that you're doing today. So make an effort to think, take time, write down all the different aspects of your life. Look at health and fitness, relationships, finance, faith issues, what you need to learn, where you are with your family, where you are with your travel, where you are with your hobbies. Look at where you want to be with your business, where do you want to be in the levels of society that you interact with. Write down as many different aspects of you. 10 years might seem like so far in advance, it's a bit foggy, but I can tell you, writing those things down now will help you get there. It's proven that people who write down 10-year goals are actually achieving them way before 10 years, because it's a focused effort. Now the next set of questions are the what will I need questions. And it's interesting, we split them into 3 different categories. There's a, what would I need to have to get there? Now that could be things that you need to have. It could be experience, it could be wisdom, it could be capabilities, it could be equipment, it could be other people. But looking at all the different things, if you have to get there, reverse engineer that for a little bit and saying, well, okay, if I'm going to be over there, what do I need to have in order to get there? The second question is, well, what would I have to be in order to get there? Now that's a direct focus back on you as an individual. Who, what, why do you need to be in order for you to be that person that you foresee in your future? And that again could be a whole bunch of stuff. Mostly in my experience, it talks about self-confidence. It's capability and confidence that often hold people back. It's that fear of not engaging. It's a fear of not putting your hand up, not going to networking functions, not going to courses, because that fear of failure hangs over us like a dark cloud. And we always find that our feet are glued into the current circumstances because we don't have that confidence. Now the good news is confidence can be learnt. The more you practice, confidence will grow, and confidence can be taught to you, and confidence can be learned, and confidence will get your feet out of the mud into your future. The third question is, who would I have to meet in order to be there? Who would I have to meet? Now this looks at your network, strategic networks we call them. And remember, strategic networks that we talk about here there's a foundation network, there's a support network, and then there's the expansion network. Who in your strategic networks do you need to have to meet in order for you to be transformed from today into your 3 to 5 years and into your 10-year goals? 3 critical questions that you need to spend time on, but 3 critical answers that will help you transform your day-to-day existence now into the future that you deserve. So the last 3 questions now focus on, what am I current? Where are you now? Where am I based now? We've done quite a lot of future looking. Where are you now? And there's 3 things. What are your current financial capabilities? Now, this is not one that we like to talk about, but write down on a piece of paper and be honest. Where are you? Write down all your debt, whether it's credit card debt and store card debt and overdraft and loans, and even those loans to family that you think you might not have to pay back. But be honest and write down all your liabilities, your financial liabilities on one side. Then on the other, look at the money that you might have access to. Now, I'm going to be a little bit harsh here and say, well, leverage the money. Think about the money that you could get. So I'm talking about money from friends, families, and fools. I'm talking about money that might be available in your credit card. Now that you've paid it off, I'm saying it's available. What about overdraft? What about excess bonds? What about other loans that you could get? What about some savings? Where else, if you were really pushed, how much money on this side could you raise if we really, really pushed you? And how much money do you owe? It's a good balance on the 2 sides. I'm not saying go into debt, but writing them down, you could have access to a whole lot more money than you think you can. So what are your current financial capabilities? The other one now looks at you as an experienced person, is that, well, what education and experience capabilities do you have? What is your intellectual capital that you have? What courses have you done? What books have you read? Where have you been experienced? Where have you learned to do a number of skills? And you'll be surprised that if you start writing these things down, you're going to get a whole bunch of assets in your current experience kind of spreadsheet. And you'll be amazed that if you start thinking about it, you're a lot more powerful and a lot more experienced and a lot more valuable than you might have first thought. Don't let that confidence cloud come in and drown you. There. Think about all the things that, for every book you read, for every course you do, no matter how small, it adds to your experience bank. It's now time to list those assets and write down what you're good at. And the last question number 10 is, where's your track record? Now, it's interesting is that failure is one of our best teachers. Oh, but we get the banks to fold their arms and look at us and say, you failed, you no good. But I can tell you, failure can be one of the best teachers. Write down your track record. Where have you tried and succeeded? And where have you tried and failed? That track record speaks volumes about who you are today. Who you are today comes from your history. Now, if you look back on your track record and you're making that same mistake again and again and again, well, maybe there's something that you need to learn from that. But if you've made a mistake and learned and grown from that, it adds to your assets once again. So write down who you are based on your track record, your education, and your finances. Once you've got the answers to all these 10 questions, it's time to consider that maybe you can start your own business. We'd love to chat to you further about that at the Entrepreneur Incubator. Drop by our website, it's ei.co.za, and there's more questions to ask, because the next thing we're going to say, well, is your idea plausible? And we'll talk more about that here on Bruce on Business. My name is Bruce Wade, coach and owner at the Entrepreneur Incubator. Our business is growing your business.